Hello everyone, this is Katie Colleen here. Welcome back, Colleen Clan, or if you're new, then come join the family for a little get ready with me, hang out. Let's just chat. How have you guys been? How are you doing? So I am getting into a cosplay today. I think this is only like the 4th time I've actually gotten into cosplay in like the last 6 months. So we're gonna be talking about that today too. But I'm going to get into Adora from She-Ra. So back in 2020, I commissioned some cosplayers and artists to make me some commission pieces. So I commissioned this Adora leotard. It's very nice. The craftsmanship is very beautiful. And I commissioned this from Holic Mode Design. And then I commissioned a sword, a She-Ra sword from Bobsy's Cosplay. So I just want to make it clear before we get too deep into this video that I did not make either the leotard or the sword, not my work, but I got these commissions last year, but my creative burnout was so bad and it's still like definitely burnt out. It's been bad enough that I have not actually worn the commissions that I purchased. So that's what we're doing today. I'm getting into an Adora look, but I won't have the canon pants, jacket, or boots. I'm really just taking the commissions for a test run, really enjoying them, and getting into an Adora look. I want to do a short hair Adora look with my natural hair because I've been seeing a lot of artwork of short hair Adora and I love it all. So I want to be short hair Adora. I believe the title of this video is How 2020 Changed My Content. That's the title I'm thinking of right now. Maybe I changed it, but that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the kind of realizations I made and how that affected the content that I am making on YouTube. I feel like I can really narrow this down to 2 main realizations I made at the start of 2021 back in January. And I spent all of 2020 making costumes. I did quarantine cosplay builds. I made some costumes for myself to wear when cons came back. You know, I feel like I was pretty productive, probably to the point of burnout in 2020. So when 2021 came around and I was planning out my content for this year, I made those 2 big realizations, and I'm gonna tell you what those are. So realization number 1 is that myself personally, Katie Colleen, is not satisfied making costumes just to wear them and prance around the craft room for 20 minutes. It was really fun for a while. I really enjoyed TikTok back when I had a TikTok. And if you enjoy getting into cosplay to just kind of take pictures and post them on Insta or whatever, like awesome for you. I totally support that and I enjoy seeing your pictures. But for me personally, for Colleen, I do not really find joy in getting into a full costume and making a full costume just so I can wear it for 20 minutes and never again. Okay, so after I made that realization, I was thinking like, okay, well, I will just wear these cosplays to the next con. I was under the impression that conventions would come back soon. I think we all kind of were very optimistic about that. Probably overly optimistic about when conventions would come back. Well, that leads us to realization number 2. And that is that when cons come back, I will have moved on to something else. I'll be making new cosplays, bigger builds, better things, and I'll be interested in different series and different animes and shows, and I'm pretty sure I will have, for the most part, moved on from the cosplays I've made now. And I kind of made this realization because back in 2020, I made my Lucy Heartfilia build, and I would consider my Lucy build to be the competition cosplay that I made back in 2020. I put a lot of work into Lucy. She has a lot of pieces to her, a lot of good craftsmanship, I feel. And looking at Lucy now, I have gotten so much better at sewing since I made Lucy. At this point, I'm not even sure I will ever compete Lucy Heartfilia in person, just because I've progressed so much since I made that cosplay. So what did I do with those realizations? And this was back in like January that I kind of came to this conclusion. I decided, well, I still gotta keep sewing. Like, I need you guys to understand that if I stopped sewing, I would probably like implode or something. Sewing has always been a huge like stress relief for me. It's how I've gone through a lot of really hard things. I need to keep sewing, but I am not really happy sewing costumes for myself right now. So when 2021 came around, I was like, okay, well, this is the perfect opportunity for me to make costumes for other people. And that's why I did the huge Orin build for my dad. Maybe I just made costumes for other people for a while. I actually think that might be kind of what I do. And when I was making Orin, my dad was like, you know, this is basically a commission, right? Like, you know that you should get paid to do this sort of work. Like, you're doing a really good job, and the amount of craftsmanship and skill here, you could actually do commissions. And I was like, huh, I never had really thought of doing commissions. So I've been thinking more about doing costumes for other people, which has then led to a lot of confusion about how I want to do my career. I don't know how it is when you guys like went to high school and were preparing to go to college, but basically it's presented to you as like, pick out your college major and that's what you're gonna do like until the day you die. And I really was fine doing engineering till the day I die. I may still do engineering till the day I die, but it's been really interesting to consider like, oh, I don't have to do engineering till the day I die. So it's been kind of interesting thinking like, I actually have opportunities. So I believe my channel content has been kind of weird lately. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that it seemed a little off, and I would attribute that to not wanting to make cosplays for myself, even though I run a cosplay channel, and not knowing a thing about what I want to do with my future career. I am confused, scared, a little bit terrified. I have no idea what I want to do. I want to make it clear like this is always going to be a cosplay channel. It is Colleen Cosplay. I don't have any plans to not do cosplay in the future. I think I'll probably always do cosplay. But I've been kind of playing around with like, okay, if I don't want to sew costumes for myself, like what can I do to still make YouTube content? So I can, like I've been talking about, sew for other people, but I can also make fashion looks, which I can wear out in public, not to a con. I can do other content. I can do content about, you know, chronic illness and my journey there. I can do content about, you know, the little designs I make for my mobility aids. I decorate my wheelchair and my crutches. I feel like there's a lot of content I can play around with that is not cosplay, but is somewhat related. So I also have been kind of playing around with that this last year. But a lot of things will stay the same, I guess. Maybe it just feels different to me. It feels like my channel has like a significantly different vibe than it has in previous years. So part of this different vibe, I suppose, could be attributed to me being on hiatus for like half of 2021 already. I went on hiatus twice this year. So the first hiatus was to work on Orin. That's the cosplay I did for my dad. It is, I'd say, the most intense cosplay build I've ever done. And I entered Orin into a competition called the Ultimate Cosplay Championship. We did not get accepted, which I kind of expected. Okay, so then where have I been the last month? I decided that another alternative for filling the void of making costumes and not wearing them was to enter contests. So I entered the Her Universe fashion show. So this is a fashion show that takes place at San Diego Comic-Con every year, and it features geek couture. So this is like, think like luxury fashion, but geek inspired. So I have wanted to be part of the Her Universe fashion show for a while now. So they're doing it virtual this year, and I was like, why not toss out an application, am I right? I tossed out an application and I got accepted, and I only had 6 weeks to create, film, and submit my final design. And I cannot share with you what that design is until after San Diego Comic-Con at home in July. So you all gotta wait till July to see what I made. So, what are we doing now? Right now I'm trying to blend my eyeshadow. Other than that, we're just gonna keep chugging along. Another thing I've learned is that it is okay to not know what you want to do. Just try some things out, because knowing what you don't want to do at least gets you a step closer to knowing what you do want to do. So, I guess this is just the time of my life where I figure out what I don't want to do so I can get closer to finding out what I do want to do. So I'm just going to be messing around with, you know, do I want to do commissions? Do I want to do nothing? Do I want to do fashion? Do I want to get my professional engineering license? There are so many options. The world is full of opportunity, guys. Let's get into the rest of the outfit, and we're gonna go outside, I think. My craft room is a bit of a mess. So I believe we're gonna go outside with Walter the wheelchair and take some pictures. You know, even if we're all burnt out and we wanna go to con, but we can't, we miss our friends, like, you know, sometimes you just gotta dance around in your wheelchair in your front yard, and you gotta live your best summer that you can, and that is what we are going to do today. I gotta say, I'm feeling super confident as short hair Adora. I'm actually really loving this look. And I mean, like, if you've been itching to get into cosplay, like, you don't have to make something to get into cosplay. This is literally like the commissions I wanted to try out. Supergirl boots, jeans from high school, and this jacket came off of Depop. So everything is just kind of like a closet cosplay sort of thing. So don't feel like you have to make something from scratch. I'm really kind of happy I finally decided to get Adora on after basically an entire year of procrastination, because I was just so creatively burnt out I could not bring myself to make her canon look. And then I was like, wait, what if I just didn't make her canon look? What if I just made something else? Oh. So it's just a little check-in, and I really want to thank you guys for sticking with me through all of my hiatuses, and honestly through the last year and a half. My content, I feel like, has been kind of rough, so I really appreciate the people that have stayed. You know, I'm still just playing around with what I want to do and what I don't want to do, but there's always going to be some cosplay in there, probably for forever, honestly. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!